May this video be the flame that warms your heart, illuminating your path with the light of love and acceptance.
The first question that I want to ask is actually related to me. I'm in the last year of engineering, so now there is a very big decision that I have to make now, and people have told me that if I take decisions from my heart, I'll be successful in life. So, but there lies a problem. The problem is that I don't know which thought is coming from my heart and which thought is coming from my brain. So how can I figure out which thought is from my heart and which is coming from my brain?
The heart makes only two sounds, lub-dub. Unless the local girls are disturbing it and it's going a little crazy. Otherwise it makes only two sounds. Rest of the noise is all coming from your head. This idea that something comes from the heart, something comes from the brain, it's metaphoric, but unfortunately a whole lot of people are taking it literally. There was a time in many parts of the world, particularly in Arabia, the medical science in Arabia believed the blood is pumped from the liver. You might have heard Urdu sayings about Kalija, have you? Because they believed blood is being pumped from the liver, because liver is a far more complicated organ than the heart. Heart is a simple pump. So do not give it any more responsibilities other than continuously pumping the blood and keeping you alive, unless somebody here breaks it. So, about the last year of engineering, I want you to change that language because this happened. Can I tell you a joke? Okay? You're pretty serious about this, that's why I'm asking. This happened. A very celebrated scientist was at a dinner and he was not grandly dressed or anything, he was looking very ordinary. So the lady who was, sitting next to him didn't pay much attention to him, she doesn't know who he is. But after some time, just to be polite, to make some conversation, "May I know what do you do?" He said, "I'm studying science." She said, "Oh, I finished that in my 10th class." So you're not going to, you're not in the last year of engineering, maybe the course, but not the last year of engineering, because for your entire life, if you learn engineering, when you're dying, after 100 years, okay? I'm not preponing it. After 100 years when you're dying, you would still know, if you are a constant learning process, you would still know you know very little about engineering. With that little, many things happen, that's different. So don't be in the last year of engineering. I know the program may be closing, but not the last year of engineering, okay? So, essentially engineering means to have things the way we want. Yes? When we say this building is well engineered, not saying that. If we say this building is well engineered or an automobile is well engineered, what it means is it's functioning the way we want. Yes? Of all the pieces of engineering on this planet, of many pieces of engineering, a tree is a fantastic engineering, even a mountain is fantastic engineering, because it stood there for 1,000,000 years, that means it must be good engineering, isn't it? Yes? Something that stands there for 1,000,000 years must be well engineered. Of all this, the most sophisticated piece of engineering is human mechanism, isn't it so? Hello? Most sophisticated of all the pieces of engineering. Now, because it's a sophisticated piece of engineering, it needs a certain level of attention, otherwise you don't figure it. Now that we gave you such a highly, high-tech piece of engineering, I'm asking you, did you read the user's manual?
I think there is no user manual for now.
How can they make such a fantastic piece of engineering without a user's manual? Maybe it doesn't come with a booklet attached to your neck when you were born. But indications must be there, isn't it, how to use it? Huh? Is it true somebody who's an athlete or a gymnast or someone else like that learns to use their body than a whole lot of other people? Yes? Obviously, at least one aspect of the physical engineering of the body, they seem to have read the user's manual about the physical aspects. Is it true certain people are able to use their mind better than others? Maybe they read another part of the user's manual. So, now with this heart manual and the brain manual, see, the problem is most people are prejudiced against the brain. So this is a question that always comes to me, Sadhguru, I want to meditate but thoughts are coming. The common question everywhere. I ask them, see, I'll make you meditate. We will stop the liver, we'll stop the kidney, we'll stop the heart, we'll stop everything, okay? Oh, no, Sadhguru. So you want the liver to function when you're meditating. You want the kidneys to function. You want even the spleen to function, you want the heart to function. But you don't want your brain to function for some reason. This is simply because brain is a new equipment that you got in the evolutionary process. This level of cerebral development happened more recently compared to the other systems. If you cut open any mammal, they all have all these parts, isn't it? Every part that you have here, all of them have. Even if you open a frog, most of you, your biology department. Even if you open a frog, almost everything that you have, he also has, isn't it? It is only… the big difference is only the cerebral development, which is a more recent happening. Because it's a more recent happening, most people have not figured how to handle it. So, user's manual is very important. You don't read a user's manual just before you discard the machine. You read it in the first few days, isn't it? Hello? If you buy a phone, do you want to read the user's manual in the first 3 days or after 3 years when you're throwing it away? First 3 days, isn't it? So, knowing how this functions is very important. Never did ever heart generate any thought or intention. Well, when you looked at the young girl, heart beat more, that doesn't mean it's saying anything, it's just trying to compensate for the other levels of excitement that's happening. The heart is not trying to say anything, it is only compensating, you need more blood, so it's pumping little harder. That'll happen even if you run up the staircase. Yes? What happens to you little panting when you fall in love also happens physiologically when you run up a staircase, yes or no? Fear also does that to a whole lot of people. So, heart is not trying to say anything, it is just trying to make sure every part of the body gets the nourishment of blood flow. So it's your brain speaking in different tongues. What's your native language? What's your mother tongue?
Assamese.
So, because when you know 2-3 languages, sometimes it gets confused, sometimes it speaks in English, sometimes in Assamese, sometimes in something else. So you're thinking different people are speaking, heart is speaking, mind is speaking, no. There is thought and there is emotion. People think these two things are saying different things. They're not saying different things. The way you think is the way you emote, isn't it so? Right now, if I think, oh, she's the most wonderful person on the planet, I just have to think. Then my emotions become sweet towards her. Now I think she's the most horrible creature on the planet. Now my emotions become nasty. Yes or no? I cannot think she's horrible and have sweet emotions. I cannot think she's wonderful and have nasty emotions, isn't it so? But today I thought she's the most wonderful person and my sweetness was flowing. Suddenly she did something tomorrow that I don't like. I think she's horrible. Thought is agile, it changes direction just like that. Emotion is little sappy. It takes time to turn around. So that period, you struggle as if there are two dimensions of thing happening. Because thought is saying one thing, emotion is still going sweet, because it takes time to become nasty. Everybody struggles, but it catches up or no after some time? Hello? Today you thought she's wonderful, sweetness was flowing, tomorrow she did something you don't like, you thought she's horrible. The thought is clearly saying she's horrible, but emotions are struggling because they can't turn quickly. They take time to turn. But after a week or 10 days or 2 months, depending on how deeply you're engaged, after some time, emotion catches up with the thought. Emotion also says, yes, she's horrible, so let's be nasty to her. So, they're not speaking different languages. One is agile, another is little slow in its corners. So, it looks like they're speaking different languages. When it comes to what you want to do, you must think clearly, it's very important. Thinking clearly means, the question is not about what will get me this, what will get me that. Is your life precious to you? All of you, I'm asking. Your life, is it precious to you? Yes. So before you invest this life into something, you must look whether today if I invest my life into this, after 25 years, will it still mean a lot to me? After 50 years, will it still mean a lot to me? At the end of my life, if I turn back and I look, will I be proud of this or will I be ashamed of what I'm doing right now? Doesn't matter what other people say. But you should not do anything that you will feel ashamed of, isn't it so? Huh? It doesn't matter, people say so many things. Everybody has an opinion, it's their business. But you don't do something that you will feel ashamed of, isn't it? Then you're turning against yourself. Somebody turns against you, you can leave them and go somewhere else. If you turn against yourself, you'll have to live with it forever. So, this is all you have to look at it. Something will get you money, something will get you comfort, that's not the point. What you choose to do, will it give you a life? When I say give you a life, are you just trying to make a living or are you trying to make a life out of this? This is important. Making a living is not an issue. A worm, an insect, a bird, an animal, all of them are making their life, making a living, isn't it so? They're even making a life out of it, but definitely they're making a living. So making a living with such a big brain is not an issue. Earning your food is not an issue, making a living is not an issue. Only problem is you want to live like somebody else, that's an endless problem. I want to live is not a problem. I want to live like you, this is a problem. So, it is important, if you consider your life as a precious life, you must make sure you make a wonderful life out of this. Whatever opens up in that direction, that is the thing you should do. But when you're under the pressure of peers, somebody is saying, I'm going to America, somebody says, I'm going to the government job, somebody says, I'm doing this. So one thing that all of you should do before you make big decisions in your life is withdraw from these pressures of peers, professors, parents, everybody. Just spend 3 days to 1 week by yourself. Look at it, what is it that you really want to do? Not under pressure from other people. What does this life want to do? Do that, it doesn't matter what other people think about it. This pretty widespread manifestation of thyroid imbalance. So we must understand this. What you're calling as thyroid, in yoga we don't look at the glands like that. But medically, what you're calling as thyroid is that secretion within you which is trying to calibrate your system on a daily basis. It's just calibrating how much digestion should happen, how much energy should be produced, how much fat should be produced, how much muscle should be built, everything. It's trying to calibrate your physical structure. Your physical structure is very closely related to your psychological structure. Today, there is substantial evidence to show you that if you sit here and think of the mountain, your glandular function will happen in a certain way. If you think about a tiger, it'll happen another way. You think about an ocean, it'll happen another way. You think of a man or a woman, it'll happen another way. Just a thought, nothing. No contact with mountain, no contact with tiger, no contact with man, woman or ocean. Just a thought will fluctuate the glandular function. I'm saying that is how fine the system is, that it is trying to calibrate everything to keep you in a good place. The problem with you is, you need a bullock cart because you are the missing link. You need a bullock cart, but they gave you a fine spaceship. Every little thing will do a world of things. Simply if you touch it, go boom, waves of stuff happening in the system. Simply if you look like this and make one conclusion about the tree, this will go into many varieties of chemical and other kinds of variations. Glandular functions will change. Wherever you may be, whether you're in Mumbai or New York or London, wherever, just look at the situation in which you're walking. Maybe socially you've gotten used to those things, but look at the kind of atmosphere you're walking in, the number of things that are happening, none of them are conducive for this life. You might have gotten adjusted to it. Maybe now you can't live out of those cities, that's another matter. But the life that you are is not seeking that kind of atmosphere. So the number of variations that are happening within you are not in your favor. Glandular dysfunction is just one manifestation. A very highly calibrated function of glandular function, one thing is the thyroid. It's easily noticeable. The first thing, your physiological and psychological parameters get thrown off a bit, simply because disturbance. And another dimension is what's the disturbance that's happening from within you, your own psychological patterns. Another dimension of disturbance is what kind of food is getting into you. There is no way you can eat anything today which is not chemically infested. If you're eating very organic food, it's little organic chemicals they're using. It's come to that place. It's very difficult to eat something that's just grown in the wild forest, you can pluck out something and eat. That's very, very little, not even a small percentage of people are capable of eating that anymore. It's all from the marketplace. And what goes into the marketplace is all about more, not about what. And also this, in this country, all these things are gone now, don't worry. My grandmother, every day the vegetable seller, they used to come home with a basket. Just then in the morning they would have plucked, by 7:38 they're at the doorstep. When they come, and she will look at this, when she wants to buy it, she won't allow the vegetable seller to touch the vegetables. They plucked and brought it. It's fresh, just now it's come off the plant. But if it has to go into the balance or if she has to choose 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, she won't let them touch it. You don't touch my vegetables. This is not to keep bacteria away. She doesn't want that woman or that man to touch the vegetables that her children and grandchildren will eat. She will touch it in a certain way. She will fondle it, she'll caress it, she'll look at it like this, and then she will cut it and make it. Don't think this is all funny. If all these things are missing in your life, you have to take pills to manage your glandular function, and there is no way by popping a pill you can get it into balance, you can suppress it. You cannot get it into proper balance, no way, because every day it's different, every moment it's different. This is calibration, a very active calibration that's happening. You kill it and just take a pill and somehow manage. You are a little dysfunctional machine. With this dysfunctional machine will manifest in so many ways, and you will only know it when you stretch it. When you're living with minimal stuff, it won't show up. It's like this. See, even if you have a flat tire on your car, at 20 kilometers you can drive home, you know. Some things will crack up, some things will tear up, but still you can drive. Only if you're hitting 200 kilometers per hour, then if the tire goes flat, then you know you fly off the road. So that's all it is. If all these things are taken care of well, now when you rev up your life to function at a much higher level, simply it'll go. Now you rev up your life without bringing that balance, then you see it'll freak. You will see this happening all around you every day. So, to invest that much into our lives, well, you can't leave your city and go and live in the jungle. You can't leave the atmospheres and go away. At least you must equip yourself so that those things don't have too much impact on you. It'll anyway have impact, but how much is the question? How much impact? At least within your home, surround yourself with some plants. If there is no space, fill your room. This is going to have some freaky bedrooms. Open up half the roof. Oh, but there's another floor above, Sadhguru. Okay, open up the damn walls so that some sunlight comes into you. Yes. Not everything is closed and just one air conditioner is going brrrr all the time. This is one thing, the reverberations around you are freaking this body completely, all the time, brrrr. Particularly when I'm outside the country, particularly in United States. Even in Europe it's a little better. In United States, all the time something is buzzing, endlessly. When I come here, it's like, just still, which makes you alive. Everything is buzzing, you're like Most people are not conscious of it, but it's happening to them. The very fact that they're sleeping 8 hours a day is just that they're not living in their natural habitat. They are trying to protect themselves by sleeping. So, to protect yourself from disease, to protect yourself from mental illnesses, to protect yourself from all kinds of imbalances, you sleep 8–10 hours a day. This is half your life, you're dead. Death is always a good fix. But that's not the fix we are looking for. We are looking for a life fix, not an end fix. If you end something, it is fixed, isn't it? Fixed or no? Fixed, but not the way we want. We want to be here, alive and be fully fixed. So if this has to happen, you can. I know you may look freaky, even I will think you're freaky. But you can bring some plant life into place where you sleep. When you walk, you must always be conscious of the life other than human life. Most people are not even conscious of the human beings, so I'm reminding you, you must be conscious of everything that is alive. A tree, a plant, a blade of grass, a grasshopper hopping, and the people that you don't like are passing by. All kinds of things. You must be alive to everything. Don't need to do any, oh, I love the tree. You don't have to love the tree. You have to be nourished by it. That's the only way to live. You like it or not, it's nourishing you right now. Consciously, if you do it, everything will work better. Something as simple as being alive to everything around you, indiscriminately, may regularize your thyroid problems. Of course, morning Hatha Yoga is there, Kriyas are there, all these things will definitely help, and the consecrated, powerfully consecrated spaces are there. Many things. One of the main reasons is human beings are becoming less and less active as technology grows. In a day, on an average human being, how much activity, physical activity they used to perform in the past, previous generations of people, and how much physical activity all of us are performing right now is abysmally low. With such a low level of activity, keeping the balance in the system is difficult. So little imbalance, don't go to bed. If you feel little imbalanced, you must jump into activity. Wherever activity is happening with some vigor and joy, you must jump into that activity and do more and more of it if you're feeling sick. Really. Because the moment you go back, you're empowering that. Well, if you're very ill, that's a different thing. But otherwise, you must… we are talking about essentially glandular dysfunction of various kinds. Activity is a simple solution for everything. And don't make activity, for those of you in New York, I'm telling you, don't make activity, you have that health band on your thing. 10 steps, 12 steps. Don't do this, that's not the way to do activity, you may get more sick by doing that. Simply, joyfully doing something. Being joyfully alive. Activity is, if you do not know how to sit here and be exuberantly alive, just go and play. Play a game, run around simply. Just imitate the grasshopper when you're walking. Try. Why not? You never did this. It's the problem with you. When you go now, I want to see you because you're going to walk on the grass. You better grow like a grasshopper. Chuk, 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 chuk. You will see how much aliveness will happen with you. Essentially, your fundamental problem is you have become bloody serious about your life. So, we have to again remind you, you will die anyway. Don't be so serious about it because it'll get over in no time. You must loosen the grip. Now if you loosen the grip, that last scene can be different. Otherwise, people see you, that's a great thing that happened to you. You loosen the grip. Now itself, if you loosen the grip, you will see life will happen wonderfully well for you.
See you soon for more discoveries and learning. Don't forget to subscribe and invite your friends to be part of this community of mutual growth.
Te uroten pina, ahlarin yes, wakotule, Tenemalun buleva harnate Elenil Estel Sila. Across the waste of burning plains, Fingo the road with wrath untamed. His steed like thunder through the dust, a sacrifice that fate proclaimed. His eyes aflame with a light so wild, like fire in the valor's breath. Through Angband's gates he stormed along to meet his fate in glory's death. The sons of Fëanor, driven lost, and in the noble's grim defeat, with shattered hope and fury's call, he charged along to Morgoth's feet. He sounded his horn with the light so wild, like fire in the valor's breath. To Angband's gates he stormed alone to meet his fate in glory's death. To meet his face that fate proclaimed, his sacred blow below God's feet. He sounded his horn with a light so wild, the brazen doors were clawed in turn. Like thunder through the dust, a sacrifice that fate proclaims. His eyes aflame with a light so wild, like fire in the valor's breath. To Angband's gates he stormed alone to meet his fate in glory's death. The sons of Fëanor, driven lost, and didn't know those grim defeats. With shattered hope and fury's call, he charged alone to Morgoth's feet. Sounded his horn with a thunderous cry. The brazen doors replied in turn, and called the Dark Lord forth to fight with a rage that none could spurn. Under blackened skies they clash in fire, a dance of steel, a test of wills. In every blow a hero's pyre, as blood meets stone the earth stands still. The hammer fell from heights, a force of doom and boundless hate. But Fingolfin, swift as a striking hawk, evaded death, defied his fate. His silver mail and crystal shield, they glimmered bright against the dark, like a lone star's defiant light, a guide through shadows cold and stark. With every swing of Ringill's blade, the giant trembled, strength unmade, by a king who dared to stand alone, who knew the weight of choices made. 7 wounds he dealt that night, 7 cries rang out in pain. As Angband's hosts looked on in fright, they fell to earth like sudden rain. The ground blackened skies, they clash in fire, a dance of steel, a test of wills. In every blow a hero's pyre, as blood meets stone the earth stands still. The ground gave way to pits of grief beneath Morgoth's iron tread. Yet still the elven king arose, the wounds ran black, his courage bled. With one last cry he swung his blade and healed the Dark Lord's wicked heel. The blood poured forth a burning shade, unlocked no